Well, I thought I had my little notes on here. This room is only for training and sharing in the community, so uh, no live trades or anything like that will be given out here. Alright, so there's a 5-minute opening range right here. Let's see what happens in that first 5 minutes. It's really consolidated. We're making a new low. New lower low, new lower low. And again, I'm just watching this on the range bars, but you can see how we've come down here. I have other charts of other time frames on my on another screen here. Alright, coming up to the first 15 minutes here on crude. It's still inside that first 5-minute range. You see that where that little blue little line plotted? If it crosses above that, it's basically like a breakout signal for me. Or a breakout line, I should say. And how that thing is generated is Let's see if I can open this bad boy up here. It's by doing this right here. The breakout setup is basically a zone being created. We put that line one tick above the high as soon as we see any type of retracement. Now, this retracement could be really small or it could be pretty big, but maybe not quite touching the zone. So we just want to know, and if it does touch the zone, then that's more of a pullback setup, which is why we have all the logic that we do for the double bar and single bar in golf. Like, this is the normal pullback setup, but if it's some type of pullback, but it doesn't quite trigger touching the zone, then that's what's going to happen there. And you know what? If it creates a zone and it just doesn't touch it, then it just doesn't touch it, and you don't even get signaled at all. So that's kind of what works, or what's happening there. But I'm really looking for like an open above that point, and not really getting it as of yet. Oh, and there's a little purple arrow, and with a little line down there, same type of deal. Now, the only interesting thing that I can really see for the setup, which I would have had these zones turned on a little bit earlier, is the fact that we're bouncing off of a 15-minute demand down here from 93.70 to 58. Now, notice that this is the second bounce here that we're interacting with. That was the first bounce over here, but this is the second bounce, and we'll just see how it goes from there. Okay, so it looks like on YM we've come down here and we're making new Globex low levels. I see us inside of a 60-minute demand right now off of a RTH chart or regular trading hours chart. So definitely an area that I'm looking at a potential reversal. "60-minute zone" looks something like this. Oh, that was the end of the day from... that's silly. I forgot the RTH chart isn't actually moving yet. But that's where the 60-minute level used to be, I should say, because now it looks like we're below that. So I would forget about that 60-minute level. And so far I really have nothing on CL. Other than it touched a 15-minute zone at 93.70. It's 15-minute demand. I mean, you could also draw in some trend lines and stuff like that. Just to make sure that that doesn't work very well. Let's try. Let's try something like that. I like the bottom one a little bit better than I do this top stuff. I just don't see that as being very... I don't know, I just don't see it being very helpful. Drawing this high to there, other than maybe a trendline break to the upside. So I guess I'm looking kind of long right now. I feel like that's a better retest. Like you can see the first bounce in the zone right down there. Anybody else doing anything right now?
No, not yet.
Yeah, I think crude is going to break to the upside. I'm waiting for this line to be retested here. Coming into the bottom of the hour now. I thought I had my, oh, I do have these on there. Oh, I got a couple ticks above there, but we're still inside the zone. The strength on the 4 range is set to 10. Just FYI. I believe both of these are, oh, no. No, they're both set to 10. I guess I should make these impartial. Obviously I favor crude, and it has the bigger chunk of the screen.
Thanks, Gabe.
You're welcome. Getting a couple questions in here. No, Glenn, the MTF is set to 3. Or multiple time frame is set to 3. Oh, and there it breaks out to the upside. Go, crude, go. And you saw another little plot. See the little long signal, little blue thing right there. So that was kind of a breakout type of deal too. Alright, now it's at the Globex high, which is always a interesting place. There's some bigger time frame zones up here, but a lot of them have been hit a few times, so I think it's good just to wait and see. Alright, so YM's starting to move, and it's hovering right on the Globex level here. Well, don't forget the injecting that's going on today, by the way. Right?
The what?
The injecting, the government is, or the Fed is injecting, you know?
Isn't that an everyday occurrence?
I don't think it was yesterday.
Oh. How do you know when they're injecting?
Oh, because the market just continues to go up, despite all logical reason.
I went long at 22 on the YM.
Oh,
I got long at 18.
Nice job, Jose.
Oh yeah, well, I didn't want.
I'm learning from you guys.
Man, you're beating the pants off us.
But my little thing says go along at 22, so yeah, I'm right there with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at least the software is. So.
Did you take your T1, Jose?
I took T1 and T2 at 10 and 20.
Oh, and 2. Oh, nice. Good job.
I got
Good
3
job.
in there, but okay, see what happens.
Yeah.
I took it off of the 180, 120 level that the OG I saw in there. It's on 1121.
What time frame, Jose?
On the 180 and the 120 minute, you can see it.
Oh, on the 120 minute?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
180. Let me see if I can put it on there.
Right. And Daryl, this is for you. I'm just going to put this on here. So this is what this APA trend following system looks like right now. I might have to color this background different just to actually show you what's going on.
Gabe, I don't see Daryl in the room.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. I see Larry and Glenn. No Daryl.
Well, that's odd.
Good morning, Miss Gizzard.
Good morning, Glenn.
I thought I'd get you to bite that hook.
How are those gizzards treating you over there?
It's been a while.
Oh, no.
Fatback's pretty good, though.
Fatback. Things you eat, I just don't get it.
It's dead, though. Nothing live.
Alright, so now it's...
Good morning.
Good morning, Daryl.
Hey there, Gabe. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, no
I'm
worries.
kind of pensive all of a sudden.
So now it's back here at our point of origin, if you will. But yet, I think it's actually doing a really nice triple bounce, possibly, on YM. And CL, I'm long, so that's good. Got long at 20, and we'll see how far this thing goes up. got my first target off. That's a really nice spike out of the opening range there. So I could have grabbed more of that. But if I can get T1 and T2, I'll be happy too.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
Alright, just a couple ticks away from... Oh, there we go.
Nice.
Just got my T2, and we'll see how this bad boy goes.
You're stuck putting me at 03 for all of this movement. Right?
Was that a beautiful trendline bounce or what, folks?
Yeah, it's nice.
Textbook.
Off of the Globex low level too there, you know. Okay, first target, and just sit back and watch, you know. Okay, so now I feel like we've determined like a range, if you will. Failure to break the high, and it looks like it's coming back down to test this zone down here.
Gabriel, your Globex low is off.
It is?
Yeah. You would stop at 6 o'clock or something like that. Some crazy.
Oh, I do. Oh, yeah, that's right. It's such a... Good
Yeah.
call. Good call. Wish I would've... I need to bring John in here, see if he got the low of the day. I wouldn't be surprised if he did get the low of the day on crude. He usually sees it if I don't see it. Where is that John Boy at?
Okay, took me out on my last one.
Oh, you still made T1 and T2. Good job.
Yeah.
And you stayed out of the mess. So,
Got 5 points out of my T3. Not bad.
I think this new thing needs to come up there and retest the high again, personally. Oh wait, there was Sister Long Sale right there. Yep. I agree. Just come up there and retest the high. Seal's retesting this high right now, so see if you can't get something here. I'd like to see it break through this. And go all the way up to at least 83. Oh, failure to break. But not confirmed yet. We've just had a green bar up into it, but failed to go lower. Let's see. On my 1 minute chart, there's a little zone up here. See if there's a little zone up here on this one. No, I don't have a zone there. Oh, well, maybe it's because I only have a few days loaded. Oh, we have a double top happening. In my book, there's no reason to short yet. I'm reloading a chart, so I'm kind of out of commission here for a little bit. Oh, Daryl. As soon as my charts come back, though, I was going to show you what that trender looked like.
Yeah, I believe I saw a glimpse of it just as I was coming online here. Very interesting to me. I would be curious to look. To my eye, that looks just really ideal for automation. Have you toyed with that by chance?
Holy cow,
Wow.
that was nice. 83, baby. Needs to hit 83. That's where I have a 60-minute zone and a few other zones up there at 83. It can go a lot higher than that, actually, but 83 is what we're looking for. I'm locking in here now at 51.
That's nice.
Okay, so anyway, back to this thing. I don't know. I just haven't seen it as being that valid in a. I think I played around with a little bit of automation on it, but I just didn't feel it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say that it's not. It's just.
Yeah, the results often differ from what it looks like on a chart, but it just seems like there are just some really nice moves there. You know,
Yeah, and I figured out if you do double. Oh man, I might hit T3. Wow. Sorry, I'm kind of preoccupied with my other thing.
Sure.
So yeah, I was just noticing that this thing is, I mean, I could use it as a filter for some other stuff, but I don't know, I haven't really fallen in love with it per se, you know?
Gotcha.
I thought it was a really cool idea, like, a few years ago, but, I don't know, it's changed. And seeing how it's like red right here and the market's moving up, that kind of stuff really annoyed me. And green right here and the market's moving down and it's a new low. I don't know, things like that. Just, I mean, yeah, I can change it so it doesn't do that or it does it differently. But, yeah. Like, the idea was the painting color of the bars. That would be a harder super trend to beat, so that it would stay with the trend more. And felt like the idea was nice, but that was basically it.
Gotcha. I like how it just kind of trails the stop. You know, almost. I have something else that kind of does that too. The ADX ATR.
Uh-huh.
where you can catch it on a real. Well, I'll shoot it to you in an email or something, kind of what I had in mind. But I think you've answered my question. I'm sure your depth of knowledge is much greater than that of mine. It just looks pretty on a chart. I would just imagine, when you could catch kind of a long run, it just seems opportune for an auto, because it can automatically take you out. It can,
Now,
put you in and take you out of a long trend.
Right. And after I developed this, I developed the Trender, which is this moving average here, which has... No, it really doesn't have anything in common with this trend following thing. But what it does, the Trender, I like a whole lot better, because I felt like that was more accurate in adapting to the trend and quicker. So like it stays green like pretty much all the way through it, except for a little bit where it gets turned red right there for a couple bars, and it's just green that whole entire time, and green the entire time, and then it finally flips over and it just stays red, until really big pullbacks there. And I don't know, I just felt like that Trender does a lot better job than the Super Trend for keeping me into stuff. Like, stays red all the way through that junk, and that was just awesome to me. Stays red all the way through there, and like it just felt like it was actually doing something really cool. So that's kind of how I saw it.
Sure. I've got the automation on the brain, because I some time ago I had purchased the Bloodhound package. You familiar with that at all?
Yeah.
And I couldn't get it to work. In fact, I wasted a good deal of time and energy on just experimenting with countless indicators, trying to make it work. But that one seemed like it had the most promise, but I couldn't get it to behave properly using multiple time frames, and it looks like you've achieved that, but yet it still doesn't have the same. It's just not that promising. So
you tried to do an automated strategy with SuperTrend?
Mm-hmm. I couldn't get it to work on multiple time frames, though, and that's just, I think, due to my own incompetency or lack of understanding with it.
Yeah.
And the creators of that are pretty skilled programmers too, and they were.
Oh yeah.
They tried to be helpful, but it again it didn't take. But so at that point, I gave up on it. It almost seems just too easy for someone like myself to be able to to be able to create a system that would work as well as I hoped it would.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's been tried before. In other words.
Yeah. Well, if it makes you feel any better, I was noticing that my little breakout strategy deal, like these little blue dots and blue arrows and purple arrows. Like whenever you actually get a close above or below it, or excuse me, an open above or below it, it actually happens with a lot of force and a lot of power, Yeah, I think that's the top right there, 95.12. It actually looks. Looks kind of like we're done there. put in that really nice double top at the top of the hour too, so because it's at the top of the hour, I want to be careful here. I'm dragging up my stop up here just below. I'm going to try to pull 80 ticks out of this bad boy. But I think we just saw the top. Which you guys can see with me right there. See if this thing gets a recoil up here and another drop. Just made a new low on that bar there. Oh, I'm out. Alright, well that wasn't bad.
Yeah, that's fantastic in my book.
Alright, so top of the hour, looks like we hit 95.12 and real nice clean zone bounce and then coming off of it. Hey, Jose did something. Did you get a good part of this long?
Yeah, I got a. Well, the last contract took me out. I pulled it my stop too tight.
Oh, I'm sorry. So that's where you got in?
Yeah. There goes the other one.
Yeah. It's always rough.
I sent in the other one. There it is.
Excuse me. Alright, so explain to me what we're seeing here.
Well, I really didn't wait for the confirmation. I just took the trade down there because it was in my zone.
Yeah. So you went long at 20
18.
or 18.
Yeah.
Right. And then you got out at 38.
10 and 20 points, yeah.
Okay.
And the third one I got out at 5 points only, so.
The rulers help me a lot, just FYI. I like that a lot. Markers, I don't know, I find those very weird
Yeah.
sometimes.
Confusing.
Uh-huh.
The other marker that's in there, I don't know, it's coming up on the on one of the apples something. The 1051 and the 2215. I don't know what that is.
The what?
That 1051? That's in your app timer or something. It's 1051, 2215 in there. I don't know. Don't know what it means.
Where do you see this?
That 1051?
Yeah.
Right there with that. Right above what says buy.
Here,
Blue arrow.
Oh. Hold on. Let me allow join. 10, above the blue arrow. Oh, that 1051 right there.
Yes,
Oh,
right there.
that's your APA volume going off.
Oh, okay.
That's just signifying high volume. Now why is there other numbers like inside of it, like the 19 and the 10 or something? That I do not know what that is. But I can almost guarantee you that there's those are two high volume bars.
Okay.
Because your bar is blue too. Alright. I was just really hoping that I get that 100 ticks today, but it's okay. I'm still doing well.
I think you're doing great.
Yeah. Shooting 100% today, what do you know? That's always
Yes.
nice. A little bit late into the trade, but it's okay. And see, the funny thing is, I even I had short signals here, you know, taking it off of zones and stuff to the downside, as well as that Globex high, which is technically a good thing to do. But because it was just so fast and hard up into this level, and then I didn't see, how should I put this? I saw that all the zones that were in this level, especially on like the other time frames here, they'd been hit so many times that I was like, man, I'm just going to try to go through them, So let it come off, give me a good bounce, and then I'll take it up through. So
Well, that was a good decision analysis.
of course, it should all be recorded, so you should pretty much hear my thoughts when I said, like, those zones have been hit a lot, so I wouldn't be surprised for it to go through. Just like yesterday when I said, oh, it looks like it's failing to break the high here. And it went, Phew. my read on stuff is like so simple. Oh, it's a failure to break the high. Let's go short.
To sell it.
And look at those wicks on those candles. I don't know if there's high volume there or not. I'd be kind of surprised if there is, but we'll see. Nope. Oh, that just tickles me pink. Oh. I mean, technically it does go above a threshold of value, but it's not the highest volume on the chart by any stretch of the means. I need to step away for a little bit, so I'll be back here. Well, that pretty much stinks.
Well, you're green, so that's good.
That's funny.
Well,
You can't complain with your green, Gabe.
I know. I just come back though and I'm like, huh, look at that. Price is sitting at 95.20. What do you know?
Michelle, are you still in there in the YM?
No, I'm out of the long, and I've taken 2 counter trend shorts.
Oh, okay.
So they were just scalpers. And I'm done for the day. No more messing around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm done too.
I didn't want to say that, but I'm done too. I didn't get
Well,
my
you did a good
T3.
job this morning.
Well, I missed my T3.
No, but you got T1 and T2.
Yeah.
Oh, you and Gabe, whine when you have green in your account. Jeez.
I've been positive for 4 weeks already.
And you're positive today.
Yeah, but it's only... Yeah, that's fine. You're right. I can't complain.
No. Remember, even the great Ed McCall, Cash McCall, has losing days.
Yeah, but his winning days are grand slams.
And your winning days have been better and better, huh?
Yes, it is. Can't complain about that.
See? It's progress. It's all progress. You can't go from 0 to 60 unless you've taken the time to build the machine.
Yeah. Gabe was talking about you yesterday, Michelle. Did
I
you hear
know.
him? Oh.
I don't
It
know
was all
how
good.
you heard
It
of
was
that.
all
Luckily he was saying good things.
Yeah.
Yeah, she heard some of it, I know. I don't know if she heard everything, but yeah. Yeah, I talk about you all the time, Michelle. I really do, actually. I'm not lying.
Hey, I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, it's all good. All good on my end too, Michelle.
I'm glad. And today's Sammy's birthday.
Today's his birthday, yeah.
What's he up to today?
He has a cold. He just left the gym. He's going into the what's it called, that vapor room?
Oh, yeah, the
no.
sauna.
Yeah, he wants to sweat it out.
Oh, good.
It's
That's
cold
what I
over
should
here.
have done. That's what I should have done when I had that cold last week.
Yeah. He took a bunch of those vitamin C's and all that airborne stuff, and now he's going to sweat it.
Good. Because he wants to party tonight, I know him.
You were taking him out for dinner, the whole family, so.
Good.
He took a trade on oil today. I don't know how much he made, but he did a good trade.
You got it long?
Yeah, he'd get it long.
Nice job. Yeah, it was really the waiting game for this thing to actually materialize. That was a big deal. You know? And once it did materialize, I'm just jumping on, you know?
Yeah.
But these new
Last-
highs here were a good sign, and then came back into the zone.
Michelle? She there? No. Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. What's
Oh,
up?
last week
Okay.
I got out of the routine. I said she's gonna yell at me, but I went to. It was so boring last week, so I went to EC to the Euro.
Oh, and how was it?
It was good. I took a 4-hour zone and I wrote it out until Friday. It was Wednesday, so I just left it in there. So,
Good.
and I did good on it.
Good. There's nothing wrong with starting to look at swing trades now that you're doing better on your stuff.
Yeah, it's
Just
sometimes
stay in your intraday in the one, you
the
know,
YM.
now.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
for,
'cause-
well, the one market for now.
Yeah, the YM sometimes gets a little boring, and
It does.
last week I didn't trade on Thursday or Friday. Well, Thursday, of course, but I didn't trade Friday either. And yesterday, I missed it. It was too fast for me.
Good.
And I've been sitting on my hands when I miss it.
Good. Yeah, I heard you say that yesterday.
Every time I get in the middle of a trade, it's just to give up money.
Mm-hmm. Unless you're taking it in the direction of the
Of the trade,
trend.
yeah. I'm tempted to go long right now, but I'm staying out. I'm done.
Yeah. It's just, in my opinion anyways, Gabe's much better at this than I am, but I think it's just, ranging.
Yeah.
It's really, it had its open move, and it's really not doing anything much more, and I don't know why.
It's undecided.
Yeah.
Welcome to trading.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what 8 o'clock's gonna bring on this bad boy. Because, I don't know, we've had some new highs, if you look at it on YM, for the day session at least. It's trying to get up there and fill that opening gap, It's just taking its own sweet time to do it. Probably trying to knock out people as it does it, Look at the.
I thought so until it came back into that range, and it rejected it again
Mm-hmm.
on that 4. But maybe.
I think it's gonna start turning around now because it's retested. Okay, look at the 60-minute level that it bounced off of. That was right there at 15.918.
Yeah.
So I think this is like the retracement, and then I would expect it to retest the highs here shortly.
Now that's only an RTH level, by the way.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
It's on the day session.
And our opening gap is at almost 16,000. Excuse me, I have a knock on my door.
Mm.
I know you guys are going to get this software here very shortly, but I just love how big these zones are on the range charts. Like, that's just sexy.
And they're good on the range charts, but I don't like them on the 60-minute very much. They're too big.
What is a range? What's the time frame or volume or what is it?
So every single bar moves, like if you're on a 4 range, every single bar moves 4 ticks in one direction from open to close. Alright? So that means every single one of these bars is exactly 4 ticks big. That's what that means. So you can have wicks. You can have like these little doji candles or dragonfly candles type of thing, but that's what you're looking at there. Okay, so open to close, it can be 4 ticks, no more, no less. So it's kind of cool because what the software is doing now is it's trying to look at the previous bars with a slightly different equation and say like where was the consolidation at, you know? So and it makes the zones really big based upon, or I shouldn't say it makes them really big, but it really bases it off of whatever momentum that it sees in the market based on that strength setting. So, you know, nice little handy dandy strength setting, but like if we see how big this thing is down here on 10, if we change this to like 5, it'll probably get smaller, is what I'm guessing. But because the zones are bigger, a lot of times will give us that, you know, second or first, maybe second bounce that may have just been a little bit outside the borders for us before. Oh, well, it turned that one brown instead. Interesting. So because it's a little bit smaller at 5, you can kind of see like there's 2 really good retests of that zone, and it breaks up to the high side. And these zones are a little bit smaller here, you know. Like I think this zone went all the way down there, so it was just one big orange zone up there. But now it looks a little bit different. So I think this thing's going to go back up. But I've already said that. So that's kind of what I see and how I read it.
Okay, today you said that the signal, or Michelle, I don't know, that the signal entry on the YM was 20 or 22.
Right.
How did you get that signal? Where did you see it? Because I don't, or how did you read the chart?
The long, you mean?
The long, yes.
Okay, so just to make it real clear.
Okay.
There's the signal at 22, right there, at 6:32 my time.
Oh, okay, on the range.
Yeah. So it took it off of what it considers the second bounce on that zone, considering the how big that zone is there. So that's how big the zone is. There's your first, there's your second, and then it got long off of the zone line, if you will. And it's giving you 3 longs off of that zone. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Because I just went by the zone. I mean, it came into the zone, and I saw the volume picking up, and I just took the long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it just gave us a long right here at 43. Stop is at 33 or 32. And your target would be, well, one of your targets should be 56.
So then, when you're playing the oil, okay, you hit your T1 and T2. What do you do with your stop? You just leave it the original stop, or do you move it?
It depends on the
Depends on the-
situation, but
Okay.
the rules say that I don't move my stop for 30 minutes, you know,
Okay.
at least 30 minutes. And I'm trying to lock in underneath a zone or some type of sign of support in this case, you know? Like if we were, wow, man, I cannot believe this thing. That, wow. Did like another point move.
If you didn't like your trade, I'll take it, Gabe.
Oh no, I was just saying wow, that's all.
Okay.
I was just saying wow, that's all, that's all.
Okay.
But like, let's say that you were getting long down here, you know. After I got my T1 and my T2, then I just looked to lock in under some sign of resistance. Like, I knew I was up like 50 ticks real quick, you know. So coming into the top of the day, I just wanted to lock in, and so I saw like this little hiccup right around in that area, and I think on a 1 minute chart it looked a little bit better.
Okay.
And so I just locked in underneath that at 52, you know, which was like 30 ticks up. And then as it was coming into the top of the day, or the top of the hour, seeing it bounce off the zone in those two short signals, you know, I decided to really lock in close because I thought that that could be the top of the day. And I think it very well could have been, but obviously not now. So.
But you made a decision off of the 4 range chart.
I made the what?
Your decision of moving your stop
Oh no.
off of this chart, or do you look at a bigger time frame?
I was looking at it 1 minute at the time.
Okay.
I was looking at this bad boy over here. So basically right where it got long. So you see how that on the 4 range it looked like just a bar too, but on here it actually had like this little. So that's why I moved my stop up to 52-ish.
Okay.
Was I saw that as a good area of support, and now it's just gone bonkers again. So, but yeah, that's what I saw, and then coming into the top of the hour, I just put it underneath like a couple ticks below this, just in case it decided to like one tick me and then like go off, you know, and hit my target. Which, yeah, it didn't do that. So, but anyway, so that was it. You know, it's pretty basic.
Thanks.
The other thing is, even though it was giving me short signals, I saw that zone being hit so many times. This is where the Globex high was, and I saw this candle, these two. You remember that double bar engulf thing?
Yes.
I used that. So red candle down, another red inside candle, and then green candle up, and then I just wanted to take it pretty close to the open there, so I got filled right around 20, and took a couple ticks of heat, and then it just went boo-doo-doo-boo-doo-boo, you know. So yeah, that's actually how I got into it, was that double bar signal, whatever we call that, I forgot.
That's your Apple single. Apple bar.
Yeah. Well, what did I call that? I forgot what I called that. Was it the double bar? Did I call it double bar or I don't remember what I called that thing. Oh, inside bar setup. That's what it is. Yep, there it is. Ba-dum. Huh. Look how big that zone is. Good grief. But I'm gonna probably release the APA 4 here before too long. And also those APA signal candles that I developed, which just show you all the double bar and single bar engulfing stuff. Just release all that stuff together.
Okay.
Alright, so right now in WAM, I would call this stuff chop. Because it's right in the middle of, like, previous range type of deal, you know? And I'd also show my dead zones just to see maybe like a little retracement that might, no, it's not doing that. I was thinking there might be a dead zone somewhere around here that might give us some more confluence as to what's going on. Oh, I have somebody rapping at my door. She's about 2 feet, about 1 year old, and she loves her daddy. I'll be right back. Is anybody still around?
Hi.
You're still here, Michelle, is what I heard.
I am still here. I left for a while, and then I came back.
Yeah, same here.
I'm seeing this 9601 as kind of a line in the sand. I think if it can break above it, my bias will shift to the upside. Break and hold, that is. I'd say a 30-minute.
Well, there was something in 9601, I'll give you that.
But you know what's confusing is, you know, it's touched that point numerous times on my Renkos. I've got 3, 4, 5 touches on a 38 tick. But I'm not seeing the same thing on a time-based chart. And I don't know what to do with that.
You like on the bars currently have touched it a whole lot?
Yes.
Okay.
But not on, say, a 4-hour.
Right.
The Renko has just a different visual representation.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Well, here's the thing. After looking at the charts for a while, I think the thing that's most important are your swing points. You know, so on the Renko, the swing points are going to be faster, or in kind of in theory, you know.
Right.
So, not to say that they are inaccurate in their swing points, because I think they're as accurate as anything else in capturing the swing points. And I know that you do a lot of stuff with fibs, so I don't think there's anything wrong with that whatsoever. But I just realized that it is going to look different, you know, just like it looks a little different here on the range charts. The real question is, what's the purpose behind the Renko bars? Now, obviously, it makes your charts look very pretty and very consistent and very like up and down like type of motion. But does it really add anything to capturing the swing points? Something that you have to ask yourself, you know?
Right.
Because if it's just there to make your charts look pretty, then that really serves no no purpose to me per se, you know.
Right. I'm with you, and I appreciate you pointing that out, and that has occurred to me. I'm aware that, you know, most everyone in this room, you know, uses the time or either range or time base. It just doesn't make sense to me that it can have that the price was there on a Renko and not a time chart. How can that be? I mean, it was either, and I don't know how to properly articulate that. It's a whole different result. I mean, in other words, the price on, I don't want to bog you down with this.
Oh, no, I really
on
don't
November
mind.
17th, okay, on November 17th at 2:08 p.m. was at 96. And then I go to my time-based chart, and it was higher. So clearly, there's something amiss here.
Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna bring up a example for us to use here. All right. What's your Renko set to?
I'm looking at a 38 tick, actually.
Wow.
Uh,
Do you know how big your wick is on average?
Yeah, I've got some kind of strange stuff going on here, which, as you can see, but I've learned to trust it. I mean, it served me well in the past. I mean, and it went right to it today, to the tick. Anyway, I've got the Heikkinashi overlaying the RJ Renkos.
Right.
Which gives it kind of the best of both worlds to my thinking. You know, I still have, you know, some candle action. I mean, I can still see where, you know, wicks. Anyway, I don't expect you to try to resolve this for me. It's just really like my scratching my head today. Because I've started to try to pay more attention to these time-based charts. I look at time on a 30-minute, which is all my market profile stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't go back this far, and I had an audible alert, whatever, as soon as it rang 96. I had that as a pretty hard target. Incidentally, that's also a 1618 extension from the relative low. On the 29th. So there's a lot of confluence right here. I would expect a pullback.
Yeah, this is kind of what I see off of it.
Right. And I've got mine's pretty similar. So you're saying you just can't read that as clearly. All right, it just doesn't give the same.
Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I mean, the swing points are important. There's no doubt about it. You know, like if I turn on dead zones, you can kind of see what the dead zones look like. But the problem that I have is because so much of this bar is faked, you know, to make it look pretty. You can take the swing points off of it, no problem, you know, and that's fine. But when I've went to develop, you know, like strategies based off of the Renko hybrids, which I've done. Here's a strategy here. I think that's called RH something or other. Maybe Trailin might be one of them too. Oh, the ping pong? Yeah, that was my first strategy with the Renko hybrid thing. Yeah, that was an interesting one. It goes from long signal to short signal to long signal to short signal. It was pretty, it was ping pong, you know? So, wow, I forgot how much. Okay, ping pong strategies, enters and exits on double hammer or double shooting star, where the first is outside the Bollinger Band and the and the second one is inside the Bollinger Band, tries to stay in the market unless stopped out, and just reverses. Yeah.
Okay.
So, I don't even... oh, heck, I'll put it on there, see what it does. Wow.
I remember that one.
You do, huh?
Mm-hmm. It didn't work so great.
Yeah.
It didn't work bad. I think we just needed to put zones behind it a little bit better than we did. Maybe with your new zones it would work a little nicer.
Yeah, but it's set to run off of the RTH stuff, so I don't know. Oh, the zones do have different heights on here. That's interesting.
Yeah. Especially if you have the Hakanashi on there. But you don't.
Oh, yeah.
The Hakanashi actually makes it a little, the Renko's a little bigger.
Kind of interesting. Give it that
There
much.
it looks good.
Yeah, I think I'll I'll convert back to the time charts. It's just going to probably just take some adjusting for me. I've just kind of grown used to this over the course of several years now.
Hey, if it works for you, man, if you're
Well,
making
I'm not sure
money,
it is.
yeah, I understand. I understand.
And I'm not appreciably,
Mhm.
Anyway.
Somebody that you might like to visit with, before you do so, I know that, I'm going to send you a couple links of a couple different users that use it as well. So, if that's okay with you.
Well, sure.
They use RJ Renko's?
Yeah.
Ah, I use them.
Well,
Exclusively?
there's one.
No, I use them in conjunction with some other stuff. Some time and the Apazones, obviously.
Right.
But yeah, I have two charts with them.
Right. Of course, I'm not, intimately familiar with the Apazones. But this looks pretty clear to me here on the chart you're displaying currently. I don't know. Of course, hindsight's always
2020.
2020.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The only thing I don't like about the Renkos, honestly, is they have no. And over time, I've gotten used to this. Is they have no actual candlestick entry.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're going in with the Renkos and out with the Renkos, you have to quote unquote trust it. You have to have something else that drives you to get into that trade besides just the zone. Now, whatever else that is, it could be the Bollinger Bands, it could be the trender, it could be a divergence indicator. You have to have, with the Renkos, you have to have something else to drive you to get into that trade when it revisits that zone. Just like on the regular APA stuff, we usually have a candlestick. We usually don't enter our zones just blindly putting in something. Putting in an entry and just waiting for it to hit, because you get in the middle of in the way of the bus or the train and you're in trouble. So if you have something else to drive that, then the Renko bars are great because they take out a lot of noise. Things look much smoother. Like if you were to change this from the Renko back to a 377 tick or a 5-minute chart, it's much messier. So Renko charts just smooth out the trend, quote unquote. And they're great for that. They're great for getting rid of noise.
Yeah, see, I think that has to. It bodes well for my current methodology because I enter at known support resistance levels. In other words, I'm trusting my levels, implicitly. So,
Gabe, you still have the Hakanashi on that. That's why those look all funny.
Yeah, I know. It's
Anyway,
not bad though.
Go ahead. No, it's actually kind of good.
But message received. I appreciate you taking the time to point that out. I think I will, return to not relying on them so heavily. Michelle, what charts do you use them on?
I have a for the YM now. Understand? I use the YM. I can't show my screen because I have GoToMeeting on the other computer. Gabe.
That's fine. Just a brief explanation will be fine.
Yeah. He was giving me presenters, and I was just telling him I can't do it. So I do trade the YM, and I have a 4 range and I have a 10 range. Or 10 tick for RJ's Renko hybrid.
Yes.
And I use those only for getting the 10 is my trend type thing. I've got the EMA on there, and so I look at that as my trend.
I do too. I use that very chart as kind of my whatever. Signal.
And I know not to go against it unless I'm taking quick scalps. Or if it's hit a major 60-minute zone, then I can think about getting in to the opposite, going the opposite direction when I get a double bottom on the 4, or when my 377 shows me a wonderful entry with candlesticks.
Gotcha. All right. Well. Can you see my screen?
I can.
Yeah. Which is this? Can you see my cursor here? I'm not sure what screen I'm sharing. I guess this primary.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got your Renko chart up.
All right. Well, they're all Renkos.
Oh. Yeah, all Renkos. I'm not so sure about that one.
Yeah. Well, with the exception of market profile, I use the 30-minute.
30 minutes is a chart.
Let me just show you this real quick, I guess. Can I move that the presenter from screen to screen?
Yes, you can.
Okay. See, this is a significant level for me. This is the 1618 and this 96 going back. Look at all these touches. I know. Unfortunately, this is a smaller screen here, so I can't.
You have RJ's divergence spotter on there, too.
I do. Yeah, CCI. I just did put that back on there. Anyway, and these are ergos, of course. And I rely pretty heavily on these ergos. For divergence. I noticed that you folks don't use a lot of divergence or an oscillator, do you?
Gabriel
I
does
don't.
not. No.
Huh.
I do. But Gabe doesn't. And
yeah,
John
that's kind
doesn't.
of critical to my method. So anyway, I'm of course, here to learn and to become a better trader. So I'm always looking for new things. I mean, currently I'm juggling about 8 or 9 different methodologies, which gets a little bit kind of willy-nilly, you know.
Yeah, if you can't settle on one way to enter, then you're constantly contradicting yourself. I get this all the time. Because there's so many ways to enter, and you'll have, if you've got 8 or 9, you've got 2 that'll give you opposite directions almost every time. Every entry will have, on this one it'll have a go long, and on this one it'll have a no go short.
That's right.
And you can't make up your mind. So to be a better trader, it's best to pick one methodology that works for you best, 70% of the time, and go with it first.
Right. Yeah, that is a point of confusion for me, and kind of a struggle, because I do see a lot of conflict in things, and I'm left scratching my head over, and then end up sitting out, most trades as a result,
Right, right. I get that a lot with traders. They've got so many different things going on and so many ways to enter, which is kind of cool because they think more ways to entry means more trades. But in reality, unfortunately, for the entries, more ways to enter means more sit on your hands and delay because you're not sure which one to use.
Mm-hmm.
Analysis paralysis. That was what I was looking for.
Right. Let me share with you something else here too. I'm a big fan of this these opening ranges. I mean, look. I mean, this was drawn, whatever, automatically, and I mean, look at that. This is the 1 hour opening range.
Okay. What do you do with it though?
Well,
it obviously isn't drawn until after the first hour. So then, what do you do with it?
Well, right here, for instance, I would consider this a resistance level. So this would be my exit.
Okay, I don't see it. You got a dark screen. I don't see exactly what you're pointing out, but okay.
There's a light green line up there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that your 1 hour opening range?
It is. This is a 1 hour range. So
oh, okay. I see a darker green spotted line below and a purple line or a pinkish line. So that's what I thought you were.
Midpoint.
Okay. Yeah, and that's a great use of that. Is okay if it can't get above here, it's just like the Globex high and lows, right? If it can't get above here, if it's going to fight getting above here, that usually means that it's going to go down below. Mm-hmm. Especially for you if you get divergence on your oscillators.
Yeah, right here, boom. But I'm noticing this is pulling back faster than price. So that tells me there's more upside. And this is probably the 38.2, I'm guessing, right in here, where it stopped. And it is. Anyway.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I thought this could possibly add some value to, someone, somewhere, somehow. I consider it really a pretty strong methodology, actually. See right here, for instance, this is the 5-minute open. Right here would be the long.
Well, then maybe that's the one you should pick and stick with.
Yeah. I do like the market profile stuff, though, too. So, anyway, I know I'm kind of all over the place. Boom.
No, it's got to be very, very simple, whatever you do, because the more and more we switch back and back, to be honest with you, like Daryl, I've studied market profile, I've studied Elliott wave, I've studied fib patterns, All kinds of stuff. I even got into your ergonics or whatever it's called. Way back when, in the very beginning, one of my buddies, Brian, introduced me to that type of indicator. So I've done ADX. I don't know. I've looked at so many different indicators: RSI, CCI, MACD, Bollinger Bands. The list just goes on and on and on. You know.
Right.
So Elliott waves and fibs are probably the hardest thing to. Market profile is kind of up there as well. Those are probably the most advanced things that I've ever seen and come across. Fibs are still, it's wonderful when you see fib and zone confluence coming together. It's just absolutely amazing. But I've seen so many fib patterns fail, and I'm kind of indirect friends with a company that does just a fib tool. And they have like automated fibs, okay? And they have this risk to reward calculator and all kinds of stuff that here's your entry point, here's your stop loss, here's how many contracts to run, all this kind of stuff. The thing is, with their fibs, they only win 30 to 40% of the time.
Right.
Okay? And I shouldn't bring, no, I won't do that. One of their old trainers is actually an Epizones user now.
Wow.
So
fantastic.
I won't go get him, but he could come in and tell you all about it, you know. And he's a very experienced trader, and you probably enjoy his British accent. But he's a pretty cool guy, and it's just the fact that you don't win very often, and mentally it's really, really hard to handle that. Even though you know what you're shooting for and what you're going for, the fact that you're not winning a lot does something to you mentally,
Oh, yeah.
and it destroys the system, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So then you get like that trading paralysis, or you've been hit, 6 times in a row. Can you really take another loss right now? You know, statistically, you shouldn't be able to make it all back and then some. You know, but mentally, can you really push that trigger another time? You know,
Right.
that's the problem. And I don't know. I have this other thing called APAFibs too that I've tried to plug in and play with. I don't think my equations are correctly doing what it's trying to do, because it's 16 patterns and crabs and butterflies and momentum pushes and thrusts and reversals and all this kind of stuff. Head and shoulder patterns. All that stuff is identified, you know. But it's pretty arbitrary, you know. So I have it, but it doesn't help, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So what do, you know?
Yeah, well, look, that's what I've been living on, all this while. I'm trying to eke a living out of, 40%, 30 to 40%. So it's very, very refreshing, quite frankly, to see such consistent, large gains. I mean, that you folks are doing. I haven't really observed that. Now, I guess I've been I haven't seen it in the the handful of other rooms and that I've participated in, and methodologies that I've either honed on my own or that I've purchased, this kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Very few people are actually doing it consistently well, and it seems like most persons that are out there with trading rooms are more interested. You know, their revenue comes from selling their product versus trading well. You know.
Mhm.
Surely you've seen that.
Oh yeah. I know a few of those people. You know.
Yeah.
So.
You know, they take a 100-year-old indicator and you know, dust it off and call it something new and charge $1,000 for it. You know.
Mhm.
Um,
And no matter what, trading is always going to be hard, you know? But I feel like it can be simple. Because anybody that tells you that it can be super duper easy, you know they're selling you something. You know? Just wait for the
Yeah.
sales pitch if they haven't given it to you already.
exactly.
To tell you the truth, that's why I'm such a terrible marketer, is because I was talking to a marketing guy as in Lake Tahoe, and he was like, well, you need to print, you know, like, even if it's only like 2% of it, even just if one person does this, you know, beside yourself, just print their stats and be like, you know, look at this gentleman over here, you know, he's not associated, blah, 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 you know, and he's done this, you know, and sell their stats, you know. And I'm like, dude, like, I don't want to do that, you know, like, it's, I don't know, I have a hard time because I don't want to make any type of false claims, you know, as far as what's going on, or making it seem over easy, you know, like it's just it's not easy.
Yeah, I honestly, that's very refreshing and appealing to me. You know, there are your approach towards things is just very kind of low key, and it's not a sell at all. You know, and I think those that can really doers don't have to sell. You know. And that's what's kind of grabbed my attention here. It's like, oh, wait a minute, you know, you guys aren't even trying to sell this. This stuff sells itself.
For the people that are intelligent enough to catch it, yeah, it really does. So, and I'm actually working with some of the different guys right now to come up with coursework, so that we can actually establish a nice course so that, you know, this is what's worked for them, and this is how they do it, you know. So once that gets in place, you know, like I hope it's helpful, but and I'm also having the guy that inspired the software to even put all of his videos on the website too, you know. So. And to be honest with you, maybe this would help you too. And it'll open you up to basically how the software came to be. But look up Al Brooks, or if you want to, come over here to this part of the website, and you can download all these videos. Let me come over.
Yeah, you know, Gabe, I tried that, but I think it's locked to me or whatever.
No, well, this part's not locked.
All right, how do I give you back?
Oh. Oh. Okay. That works. See, hey, now you're getting the hang of running GoToMeeting and everything, you know? Good stuff, my friend. Good stuff.
Yeah, gee.
Oh, I know it's here. Hold on. Oh, I hear Jose jumping at the bit.
At the what? No, I mean, who is it talking? Daryl? Who's talking right now?
Yeah, Daryl was.
Hey,
Okay, Daryl. Hi, how are you doing? I've been with
Well.
Gabe and Michelle for a while, and here's what I learned how to take my trades. I'm not there 100%, but I couldn't even ID a trend before I started with Michelle. So just so you know where I'm standing, and that's why I'm here with Gabe and Michelle, because Just want to say that before I leave. I got some things to do.
Sure,
But,
sure. And,
yeah,
and
yes,
thank you for
stick to them. Stick to them, and you'll get it.
yeah, and thank you for jumping in there, Jose. And I have heard your voice before. I know that you're on four green weeks here, so that's what gets my attention the most.
Well, I had a little bit more than that. I only want to say 4, but yeah, it's been a few more than that. Anyways, enjoy, and I gotta go. I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.
Yeah, take care.
See you, bud. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Oh, where? Oh, there it is. Okay. I'm going to give you a URL here. And it's not blocked.
Okay.
But here's the guy that inspired me to create the software. And hopefully it's pretty obvious why once you see his methodology.
Okay.
I developed it as a crutch. Just to make it a little bit more simple for myself. There we go. Alright, so the link is here in the GoToMeeting chat box thing. Looks like there's about 30 videos or something in there.
Yeah.
So,
Excellent.
but
All right, fantastic.
It's just price action type stuff. So, but he's a pretty well-known trader, I think.
Yeah, I have crossed that path. I'm drawing a blank here. But early on, I've read a lot of books, and currently they're all kind of just blending together. But yeah, thanks for sharing this. I'll look forward to.
This is Al Brooks, and this is my price action.
Thank you. Perfect. All right, kick ass.
And if he makes you fall asleep, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's just fine. I've got this is my life's ambition here. I'm full time at it. I just got to figure out a way to make it love me back.
That is the key, isn't it?
I can't think of anything I'd rather be doing.
Yeah. Well, here, let's let me get Pat on the phone, and let's see if he can't talk to you a little bit. Hold on one second. Actually, give me a couple minutes. Let me see if he's around.
All right, great. Please excuse me. I'm going to use a little biology break here, and I'll be right back.
Alright. I'm not getting any answer from Pat, but hmm.
At this point, Dave, I'm a believer. I just got to figure out a way to pay for it. I'm just a little bit.
Oh, no worries. No worries. It's I totally understand. The thing is with this industry, you can make a lot and you can lose a lot, and you need to figure out what tools you really need to buy. So I have no problem with you just hanging out with us. And in fact, I think it's a really cool thing just for people to hang out with us. There's nothing. I think if I can create a community that's very focused in their approach, that will be very helpful to people overall.
Mm-hmm.
So, because like you were saying, I mean, you know a lot. It sounds like like you're able to say, well, not only am I looking at it like this, but I also know that this approach over here is going to be thinking about this. I do that stuff too, I think about Elliott Wave, and I think about Fib guys as well. But so much of the time, like my Fib patterns, or when I'm looking at a potential quote-unquote Fib confluence with something, it's just really, really simple type of things, like it's like I don't know, it's just you can see I have a 127 and a 127 on this side too, and that's
Mm-hmm.
pretty much my Fib deal,
Mm-hmm.
But it's nice to know what other people are thinking. Where's this app of Fibs? There they are. I'll show you what this bad boy does.
Yeah, throw it up there.
Alright. Where's your patterns at? It's not finding anything right now, apparently.
Now, Gabe, is that part of your suite of products as well? Because I don't recall seeing that in the...
It was experimental software that's never gotten anywhere other than experimental software.
Gotcha. So all those pages and pages are just kind of stuff that's in process or that has been, tried and didn't pass the muster.
Yeah.
On your screen, that is. Yeah.
Right. So here's trend. It would identify trend according to Fibs. Fib pattern is a double top, double bottom setup. And then you give you an AB equals CD pattern. And as you can see from this plot, we're plotting up to 414% retracements, which has taken us all the way up there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we got where it stops according to this dot right here. It is what it is. But you have an X, Y, and then it never found an A, or there's apparently an A somewhere in here, B, and something like that. So I guess this was a continuation when this fib was plotted. Now, here's another fib that it plots. So we have X, Y. Here's our A point. B point should be down here. And C should be up here. Then D should be, maybe at a 161, 224, something like that, So,
Right.
But who knows what will happen there. So, I would like to tell you that it works really well. That it's a masterpiece of however many thousand lines of code I have plotted into this thing, but yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I have something similar that I purchased for a large sum of money, and I no longer use. And in fact, that's basically describes most every software package. And I'm down to almost just price action, in these fit levels and blah blah. So anyway,
yeah, that's kind of how I feel about this stuff right now. So, I don't know. I may revisit this sometime in the future, but not right now. I'm just going to finish my work in the Epizones for Spectrum, and then I think I'm going to call it good for a while, So, maybe try to spread the gospel and get hopefully help some more people, as long as it's not a degradation to my trading. So
what kind of things do you have in the pipeline? Are you? I'm sorry. I think you just answered that. Look, I'm trying to do two things at once. I want to show you something just briefly.
Sure.
If you care to, I need to clean it up for just a second here. For some reason, it's not cooperating right now. This may help. It may I don't know, in some way give you some ideas with regard to those harmonics and things. And darn it, I don't know why this is not. Let me do something else here. Let me do it here. Well, it did fall short of the crowd here. I thought it looked like it was on it. Anyway. Yeah, I don't rely on this at all, and perhaps this is a mistake even showing you this. It only reaches these levels, too infrequently to rely upon.
Mm-hmm.
But something that while I'm here, I want to show you something else that I've kind of learned to. I kind of value here. I'm really all that prepared for this, but are you in any kind of hurry?
Nope.
It should just take me just a moment. Regarding volume has always been kind of very elusive to me. I understand it.
Me too.
In all of the things that I've said, it makes sense when it's being, taught and described to me. I have another pack, a VSA package, whatever. I pay handsomely for, and it works about 50% of the time, and every time I go to apply it, I'm on the side that it doesn't work on. But this, I think, might have potential. Shoot. This is not it. Yeah, I apologize. This is gonna take me some time to figure out.
Well, it's okay. I'm just working on something else. I'm going to stop the recording here, though.